morning, everybody. Time is 8:12. Kids love to read, and here to talk through what is the most effective ones that they'll actually love and that you'll love reading to them is Heather Feldstein. You're the founder of wordsbymom.com, and what you do is you write reviews, and recommendations so that parents can navigate a little bit better. There's so many choices out there. So where shall we begin? Is it age-specific categories, or would you rather touch upon topics?
Topics, I think, is better. Children can read a plethora of books across different levels, so I think kids extract what they want from a book. So really, a 2-year-old or 3-year-old will certainly get something out of a book different than somebody who's a little bit older, but it's still beneficial to them.
So at what age should you start reading to your kids?
I recommend starting to read as soon as you can when they're babies. You can read the board books, and at that point, it's certainly not about the literature. Perhaps it's more about the nurturing, and it's about the experience and fostering that early literacy that will come later on.
Okay, so let's take a look at some covers. Why did these speak to you?
Okay, well, we can first start with back-to-school books. First of all, on everybody's mind these days. This is a great book, Wemberly Worried, a fantastic, fantastic book if you've got a little one who's just starting preschool. Wemberly, as you can tell from the title, is somebody who worried about everything, and going to school was certainly one of her big worries. So that's good because kids can really relate to that, and it really touches on some of the worries that kids would have.
Allays some of their fears and mentally prepares them for those days of school.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, we've got other back-to-school books. Willow Whispers over here is a girl who had trouble finding her voice and really getting what she wanted. So this book talks about being shy and really using your voice to express yourself and get what you want. And it happens in a school setting. So I thought that was a very appropriate book come end of August to talk about. The Pirate of Kindergarten, another fantastic book set in a school setting. A girl who has double vision and is trying to cope with the fact that she doesn't see the way everybody else does until it's actually diagnosed, which these days that's really a common problem. Certain issues don't get diagnosed right away, and it's a struggle for a lot of children.
And they're considered taboo, or they're not sure what's going on.
Absolutely.
So this helps them articulate that a bit better.
Absolutely.
I have to get to this little guy. He's adorable. Otto.
I've kind of sectioned here some sibling books if you've got kids who maybe experience some sibling rivalry. I know mine do. Otto is a little guy who kind of wishes for his birthday that his baby sister was never born. Oh. And then he realizes that perhaps there was some value to having her in the first place. So it goes through that. Another book on the topic is Sophie Peterman Tells the Truth. And this is a wonderful book also about a girl who talks about why she really doesn't love having a little brother, but of course her heart warms up to him.
Now when the kids say when they do love a book, read it again and again and again, how do you cut that off? Well, what is the cutoff point?
That's a very good question.
Right?
You know what? You can say one more time, but if a kid is saying read it again, read it again, read it again, you know you're doing something right.
And you say no matter what, let them read as long as they're reading. I know my nephews are into Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Captain Underpants, so even though it talks about all of those things that kids love, like flatulence and number twos, you say let them read.
I say let them read.
Okay, good. For more information, wordsbymom.com, and you can also head to the library. This is always good too. Have them pick out the books. Whatever they like, you can then purchase, right?
Yeah, and the other great thing about my website is that you can, if you don't have time to go to the bookstore with your children and pick out these books, you can certainly read a synopsis about the book on my site, and you can purchase online. I know that's really popular.
Great stuff. Get reading. It'll pay off in the end. Right now, Cynthia's got much reading to do in the news.